So
This is why you fucking miss call time again? Just so you could have this? Really?
got my Jason Momoa vibes going. Dante.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and welcome to Architects of Lore, the one and only weekly podcast where two clearly unhinged cousins sit around and discuss the age-old art of storytelling. And at the end, well, it is the end, folks, because we're coming up with the ending to our Cosmic Void franchise. But I'm your host, aka Z-Town TV. That's my co-host slash co-cousin, Jason Momoa. Jason, how you doing this evening?
It's Devin. Devin's the name. Devo City is the game. I'm doing well. Yeah, I thought I would, for Jason Momoa, try and do it. I almost shaved my beard and did his little thing like he does in the movies, but that is way too much commitment. So I did go with the rigs. I happen to have a couple skull rigs, which works out perfect.
Just happen to have them.
Just happen to have these on hand. But no, I'm doing all right, Zach. How you doing?
Did you paint your fingernails? Because he paints his fingernails.
No, didn't have time.
Okay.
But
You had a whole week. But hey, here we are.
I'm not going to commit too much to a bit.
Of course. You want to be able to go back to normal life immediately as the podcast.
I thought you were going to show up dressed as someone today. Like, me.
I'm showing up dressed as Giselle as she gets off the sub at the end. Spoilers.
Giselle lives.
Yeah, Giselle lives. Also, apparently Jacob Toretto is dead.
R.I.P.
Kind of seems like they
and
really
who knows
wasted
what Dom and little Brian
John
get up
Cena.
to.
Yeah.
But wait until we get there. Wait until we get there.
That's into that.
How was your week?
My week's fine. Didn't watch a lot of new movies this week. I watched the first season of The Recruit on Netflix with that Noah guy or whatever. I don't know his name. It's on Netflix. Yeah, it was actually pretty good. And I only looked at it. I was like, oh, this looks interesting. And then I obviously Googled it because I'm not going to get into a show that doesn't have a second season already, unless it's a limited run like Shogun, which is only one season, which is fine. So when I saw that, it's like, oh, the second season of The Recruit is coming out. I'm like, great, then I'll actually commit to this. And it was okay.
Talk about second season. House of the Dragon coming out Sunday. That's going to be pretty cool.
That's
what I was rewatching. Oh, you haven't?
No.
It's a shame. You read the book. I know you read the book, so I don't know why you didn't watch the show. But
actually, I've really gotten into on the Architects of Lore TikTok. It's just a lot of Game of Thrones clips now.
Yeah, and backstory and stuff. I think it's just HBO or Max marketing.
It's being just like, pushing it out.
Ready.
Get it out. But as soon as you watch one, then it's just over.
I started rewatching the first season. You don't need to. I mean, I know you've seen Game of Thrones, but you don't need. I told my parents you don't need to see Game of Thrones to watch House of Dragon. And since it's coming out on Sunday, I recommend checking it out. It's a lot of fun. It's got a lot more dragons. That's what I like about it. So
a lot more dragons. This was not sponsored by HBO.
Who knows? Maybe that's what the TikTok wanted us to do. Maybe it really was.
The algorithm works.
It was. Oh my goodness.
Oh God. Oh, that's good. Have you played any golf in a Hawaiian shirt lately?
No, I only play golf in 4-way stretch material just so I can get that full rotation.
Obviously.
Yeah, I did play golf. I played it at the executive course. Did better than I did the last time, but I got humbled when I went to a par 72, and I came out with a 109, and my dignity was not intact.
I got to call up the pro shop and up your handicap for the member guest then.
Well, I just realized I got a tee time for next week lined up.
Yeah.
I'm just realizing I got to get my long game under control here.
Got to get it.
We've clearly worked on the short game. I didn't have anything over 2 putts. Maybe like 1 3-putt, but like
That's gonna happen.
it's gonna
Yeah.
happen. There was this hole where I finished. It was 18. And I finished first, and we were like lagging all day. And I just like put the ball down like 8 feet, 10 feet away, and just in the cup. No one's even watching. It's just for me, just for the practice, just for the love. Everyone makes fun of my putter. You've seen my putter. Everyone makes fun of my putter.
It's disgusting. It's a bunch of paper clips and steel held together.
Listen,
by bubble gum.
It works for me.
Does it?
Yeah, somehow it works for me.
Gotta get that Scotty.
No, I do not need to spend any money on a putter, and I got another chip in. So that's 3 in 2 weeks.
That's pretty good.
Yeah,
it does seem
double
like
bogey, but
it does seem like my bet of buying you a 60 degree is very safe. So
no. You don't understand. I'm gonna play different. I didn't have any beers, and I think that was the issue.
Definitely the issue.
Okay, hold on.
I'm gonna assume that Devin is reading an email from Nate right now.
There's a series of emails, and one of the subjects was "Don't open until reading the one beforehand." So
okay,
the first one. This is from 3 days ago, so it just says "soon," and is the copy of the email that went out to the Pompeii Club registry, which is great. Love to see it. And then he followed soon up with, I stopped by the pro shop today and officially signed the Architects of Lore up for member guest. Get ready for a 4-day festival of golf.
Yep.
It's 4 days? I thought it started on Friday.
There's a practice round Thursday that I'll go do after work.
Whoa, I can't come?
No, obviously you're allowed to come. It's just I won't be there till after work. So
I can go. I can mingle.
If you want to meet up with Nate and get 18 in, go ahead. You know Nate. Well, Jake's not going to be there.
Why not? Where's he going?
He's playing a different member guest. He's upset about it.
Darn.
We know Nate.
I know Nate.
Go play with Nate.
And then today we got 2 emails, so I gotta open the first one first.
Okay. Are they from Nate?
This is from Nate. Still, we got a couple emails. This one's from Nate.
Okay.
How far do you hit a full swing wedge? So what are you asking? What kind of wedge?
Pitching wedge.
Pitching wedge?
Sure. What's your full swing pitching wedge?
Because I could start at my lowest and go up.
Sure. What's your 60 degree?
I will never know, Zach, until the member guess when I hit that 86. So I'll get that soon enough, I guess. So everyone knows my
swig of Celsius in there.
So everyone knows my shortest club right now is my 56.
Of course.
So I'm hitting that full swing about 100 yards.
Pretty good.
And then we're going to move up to my 52. That is about, I say 110 full swing, maybe 112.
Ooh.
And we got the 46. That's like that's like approaching 120 almost.
Okay.
We got the P wedge. That's like 135, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And that's all my wedges. So
just round it out. What's your 9?
Like 145?
Okay.
Like my 8 iron is like my 150 club now. No.
Okay.
Because my 8 iron is like what I go for at 150. And I hit a nice little fade onto the green with my 8 iron.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was my second try, but like it was super nice. It didn't count. I played my first one. I told you I got a 109. It wasn't great. But like I didn't do that bad as Ryan and Gian, who
we don't need to bring up other people.
They had to go to a scramble. So they played scramble for the back 9.
For the love of the game, Devin. For the love of the game.
It's just, we all got humbled. We've been playing these par 3s, having a good time, getting
consecutive courses, thinking that you're all that. But you step into the big boy ring, you put on your big boy pants, Devin, okay? You step into my world over here.
But I got a player card for the LA City Golf.
All right.
And I got a tee time for Monday. So I'm excited. I'll let you know how I know the next episode.
All right.
Yeah.
Sounds good. What's the next email?
Okay. Trivia answer. Do not open until after answering prior email. Joe T, who I'm assuming is Joe Tesori.
Okay.
I don't know, and it doesn't matter because why would I hit a full swing wedge when I can hit a 3/4 swing 9-iron? Joe continues. Nate, if I played you, I would be licking my chops. You hit it much higher than me, but from watching how hard you are swinging, at some point over 18 holes, you're going to explode. This knowledge was dropped over the course of a lesson tonight. We then proceeded to work on balance and tempo and smoothing out the imbalances. Figure number 1 is in the work. All right, thank you. I've said that before. When
I gotta get a lesson with Joey.
I feel like I was baited into that. Rude.
You were baited into that. I didn't know that was happening, to be fair.
But
I do like to 3/4 swing. If I'm going into the green, it's 3/4 swing. Whatever club that is. I'll club down, 3/4 swing. No full swings into greens. That's my motto.
I get that, but I was putting myself at like 40 yards and I was struggling from 40 yards. But you put me right on the fringe with a 56. I'm putting it like either in the cup or next to the fucking cup.
You better. There's a lot of talk. And I'm gonna see you blade it over the green again and again.
Never.
When you get the lies that I get at Pompey Club.
Ooh, never.
No, that's good. My golf adventure this week, played a scramble tournament, first time of the year, first scramble. Me, Karen, Nate, and Dan at the Geneseo Alumni Weekend at Livingstone Country Club. We won 7 under. Might have been the only team that finished. Still counts as a win. Kind of rained intermittently. And I almost got a solo eagle. This close.
Congratulations.
Boom.
Talk
drive.
about good shots, though.
Right onto the green.
Shout out a listener of the pod. We're getting
Hey,
hole in one today.
All right, that's not my story to tell. But okay, yeah.
He texted me, he sent me a picture. And you got to know that it was him because the ball had the Marines logo on it.
Had the Marine logo on it. My father, Mr. Sean.
Congratulations.
At Battle Island today, number 6 hole, hit a hole in one. I asked him. I was like, did you get to see it? Because I've never played Battle Island. I don't know the course.
It's like this. It's you hit down a hill and it's
He said he couldn't see it. It was a blind shot. So they got up to the green and looked, and there it was. Because I was like, did you get to see it go in? Because that's the best part if you get a hole in one. And he didn't get the best part. You know?
Did he celebrate at least?
I think, yeah. I mean, he bought his friend lunch and beers. So
he had lunch. That's a celebration.
He had lunch.
For him. He's
played pretty good. He might have beaten me today. I don't know. We'll see. I'm not sure. Because, I've only been playing Poppy. I don't really know. Like, I played Foxfire last week, and I shot, a 43. But the first 5 holes, I was 7 over. Last 4 holes, I parred out. And then I'm just going like, dude, I just had to get into a rhythm. You know what I mean? Just had to get into a rhythm.
I mean, I would normally make fun of you for only playing at one course, saying that you're a one-trick pony. But we got the Pompey member guest coming up.
It's coming up.
We got to get positive.
First of all, David, if I played your executive course, I'd dominate you. Domination.
First of all, I already dominated that course. You don't know that. You don't know. You ever play off mats?
That's true. Mats do suck. You're right. You might have the advantage off mats. You might.
And you don't know what these greens are. Because let me tell you, sometimes you'll be playing, and halfway through, there'll be a guy who goes up to a green and just sprays it with a hose. Do you have any idea this is happening? No. But then you walk up to that green and it's squish, 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 and you have no idea how that green is playing. You're
right. You're right. These are different conditions. These are different conditions.
Saying, you got to deal with that. You got to deal with the people betting because they have a 40-man skins game walking around the course. and you got to even hear them yelling. You know, you don't know how to play in these.
You're right.
types.
You're right. All right. You're right. You know what? You're right. The executive course, I don't know how I do. It's maths. You got different conditions. It's a part 30. But whatever par 72 that you just played, I dominate you.
Yeah, probably. Hands and jam, you probably would have done all right.
Yeah.
I should have done much better. I did some cool shots. So I had some fades, some draws.
Well, let's move on because I have 2 trivia segments of this week, folks. We're gonna have the staple movie game, but first, Devin,
I got two for him.
I'm gonna need you to get a pen and a piece of paper because I got a little bit of a puzzler for you.
Jeez, unprecedented.
I did not give Devin any warning on this.
I don't know if I enjoy this, but all right, what do we got here?
Devin, you're really strong at math. Math's one of your strong points.
At one point it was.
That's not a joke, folks. Devin was actually pretty good at math. So, I was on the way home from the Geneseo Alumni Weekend, and my buddy Dan, he says, "Hey, let's listen to an episode of Car Talk." And I'm like, "What the hell is Car Talk?" Apparently, Car
Talk.
Do you know Car Talk?
Of course, I know Car Talk.
Apparently, Car Talk ran from 1977 to 2012.
Yeah,
folks had no idea.
They were amazing, man. You call in, you tell them about your car. They
apparently diagnose it. Yeah, they make fun of you.
And then they diagnose your issue.
For some reason, NPR is still releasing these tapes, even though they retired over 12 years ago. One of them unfortunately passed away. I guess it's just making money for them.
It's a good show.
I put on an episode, and they had a puzzler. And this puzzler is the potato paradox, Devin.
Okay.
So, unless these students who were leaving summer, it was very topical, their brains would go to mush. He gave them a little bit of a puzzler. So, are you ready for this question?
Go for it.
Okay.
You got the answer?
Yeah, I know the answer.
Okay, I was gonna say that that'd be. You're like, all right, maybe.
That could be it. No, I got it. So, Devin, in this scenario, a potato is 99% water and 1% solid.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, let's say you have a sack of potatoes. Let's say it's 100 pounds. Okay? You take that sack of potatoes, 100 pounds, and you put it on your back porch, and you let it sit in the sun. After a couple of days, you come back, and those potatoes have dehydrated to the point where the potatoes are now only 98% water. What percent change does that now weigh?
What?
How much less does it weigh? Either in percentage or pounds. You can go either one for me. Would you like me to repeat the question?
Yeah.
Okay. In this scenario,
how does this have to do with movies or cars or trivia? This is just
well, first of all, it has to do with cars because it was on Car Talk,
okay.
And we're doing the Fast and the Furious. Now, in this scenario, potato is 99% water, 1% solid. Say you have a sack of potatoes that's 100 pounds. You put it on your back porch. You let it dehydrate for a couple of days in the sun until when you come back, now the potatoes are only 98% water. When they are now 98% water, how much does that sack of potatoes weigh?
So there was 100 pounds to begin with?
Yep.
So 98% of that 100 pounds was water.
At the beginning, 99%.
Yeah, but at this point, 98%.
Now the potatoes have dehydrated to the point where they are only 98% water.
Okay.
Okay.
So how much does that weigh? The potatoes weigh?
How much does a sack of potatoes now weigh?
99 pounds.
Okay.
What is it? What is it?
The answer, I'll tell you on next week's episode.
No, tell me fucking now or I'll delete this whole thing.
It's 50 pounds.
50 pounds?
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay, we'll see if this makes the cut. This might be at the end. What was that? What is this? What are you trying to get a gotcha math question?
No, I'm trying to do something a little different. I was like, oh, that was pretty interesting, the whole puzzler scenario. And then I had a conversation with Dad, my friends, my parents. Just see if you would have fun with
You
it.
could have
Apparently
told me
not.
that part of the story. No, I mean you're just like, hey, get out a pen and paper. All right, I'm gearing up for the movie trivia game, and you're like, this is the percentage of potatoes. What the fuck are you doing right now? This is a movie podcast. All right, so now it's time for everybody's favorite trivia portion of the show.
Second favorite trivia portion. Everybody loves the puzzler.
And that's the movie game.
Movie game.
We had a couple people last week come in with a right answer. And Zach, since that was your question, why don't you read the question?
You got it, Devin. Let me pull it up again. Hold up. Pause for time.
I'm just also just like, I got this surprise segment. It's mad. What are we doing over here? I got percentage. I got 100 pounds of potatoes.
That's good. That's a good percentage.
I mean, I get it goes. Then this would be 2 times, so that's a double percent increase. So I get that it's a 50% decrease. But
there you go.
He's
got it. He's got it. He's got it, folks.
Like, I thought we were doing movie trivia. I thought this was gonna be like a puzzler movie thing with. All right, move on.
Are you gonna be all right? I tried something new. Clearly, it didn't land with you.
What was last week's trivia question?
Last week's trivia question, written by me, was: a high school teen makes a bet that he can turn anyone into a prom queen, even the bespectacled nerd and the one-hit wonder band that only wants to hold your hand. Devin, that answer, of course, was.
And according to Adam and Lauren, it is She's All That Thing You Do. Yeah.
Oh,
Lauren,
yeah.
She said movie game, correct answer, baby. And then also, keep up the bets. Real bets are fun, people. The people like to gamble. Let us hit on this. More bets. R.E. Pompey member guest. Maybe some bets about how many more people will fake die in these stupid-ass fun movies. All right, well, we'll see if we got any...
I mean, we didn't need the last line. We didn't need Lord, if you want to make more bets, you come to Pompey member guest, Calcutta night, you drop thousands of dollars on the team. Then it's just what? It's like jockeying, all right? Man. Everybody's invited. All right, Devin, since you wrote the audience movie going question, you can start off with yours for me first.
All right, sounds good. And this one is on theme.
It's a math problem?
Yeah. Fresh from prison after being framed, a man joins a cross-country race that killed his brother.
Holy shit. Fresh from prison. After being framed, a man
joins a cross-country race
that killed his brother.
Okay.
That
killed his brother.
So the cross-country race that killed his brother, that's the second clue, right?
Surprisingly, with these two films, it's both of them.
It's both.
Cross-country
it's both.
Race.
Okay.
Yes. But the killed his brother part is for the second one, but they both have a cross-country race.
Okay. What's the year of the first movie?
No idea.
Okay. All right.
Let's say 2011.
Let's say it. Fresh from prison after
Just
being
think
framed.
of our theme.
The Fast and the Furious.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not one of those movies.
And these are 2 movies based off video games.
2 movies based off video games.
Yep.
Okay. after being framed. Based off a video game?
The
I don't know.
first video game didn't really have much of a story to it.
Doom?
No, but the movie stars Aaron Paul.
Oh, Speed Racer?
That's the second movie.
That's the Need for Speed Racer?
Yeah, there you go. Need for Speed Racer.
Okay, I never would have got that without the hint. Okay, good one.
It was on theme, right?
It was on
they're
theme.
both about racing and cars.
It's great.
And I looked them up, and I'm like, they're both about cross country races. Interesting.
Yours was very concise, and I appreciate that. Mine's a bit of a mouthful. So get ready.
Okay.
All right. Call the coin toss correctly, and this sociopathic killer who just wants to recover the money from a drug deal gone wrong will spare your life. But deny him sugar water, and he might tear off his skin, revealing a 10-foot-tall cockroach who wants you to surrender the galaxy.
No Country for Old Men in Black.
Dude, that's good. That's a good one, right? That's a pretty good one.
I feel
that's
like
a pretty good one.
Men in Black, didn't we?
No. Well, I mean, listen, we've been doing this for almost 2 years, so at one point there might have been a Men in Black one. But
True. But yeah, good job.
that was a pretty good one.
Hey, can't stump the champ though, huh?
Yeah, I'm sorry I didn't do Need for Speed and Speed Racer. Okay.
Pretty funny. All right, audience, are you ready for your movie game question? Remember, this is 2 clues, and the answers are mashed up titles together.
Mash them up.
Bane coerces the Batman out of exile, leading to an infant chimp resenting humans. Bane coerces the Batman out of exile, leading to an infant chimp resenting humans. If you know that answer, leave it in the comments below.
Well, Davin, we've come to the end of it. Here at the end of all things. What? This movie ended on a cliffhanger in studying the blueprints.
Yeah, if you don't know, we watched Fast X. Fast X Part 2 has been announced. So don't know what to do with that information, but I'm excited. So listen, folks.
Hold on a second. Before we get into this, when you suggested us to watch the Fast and the Furious franchise, to do a franchise season, you knew at that time that the last movie that was released in this franchise was a fucking cliffhanger?
Short answer, yes.
Okay, great.
I watched Fast X, and when I found out that it leaves on a cliffhanger with Vince almost fucking dying, or Dom, R.I.P. Vince, Vin Diesel, I was like, this movie is perfect? Question mark? Because it might be. And I was like, we have to do this franchise. I recently watched this, and I watched it again. And last week or so, they fully announced Fast X Part 2. But
which comes out when?
I think next year, the year after, who knows?
Okay. So the real question is, do we leave Cosmic Void on a cliffhanger until Fast X Part 2 comes out?
We might have to. We might have to. So, let's get into it with Fast X. I told you guys that a car went off a bridge in Rio in Fast 5. And I said, hey, this is going to come back. And listen, it came back because you know who was in that car? Dante Reyes. Reyes' son. You never saw him the whole movie, but he was there. Believe me, he was there, okay? And now he wants revenge because why take death when revenge is
never accept death when suffering is owed.
There you go. So that's like his family motto, I guess. And he is, as Cypher calls him, the devil incarnate. And he just wants to burn the world down. He basically was Joker, and he's going after the Toretto family. And it turns out he takes out some people, potentially. I don't know. We didn't really see their deaths, but we're led to believe most of the people are dead. Except for Brian and me and the kids. They're always safe.
They're fine.
And
well, not
then,
Little B. Little B could be dead.
And then a dam is coming down on Little B and Dom. That's where they leave it there. And then Letty is saved by Giselle in the submarine that they stole. So
a lot of questions on that one.
Yeah. And now Dante is going after. He's back. The Rock, Luke Hobbs. Everyone is in this movie almost. But there's a lot of people in this movie. You're like, wait. Wasn't Little Bow Wow like a big part of the team now? Don't worry where he is. He's safe, okay? He's safe.
When was Little Bow Wow a part of the team?
Remember last time in 9, he helped him get to space.
Yeah, but that was a one-off thing.
No, he's invited to the
The Tokyo Drift Boys are not invited to the barbecue anymore.
Yeah, they are.
That's a barbecue.
I think their story's going to be told in Fast X, but we'll wait until we get to predictions later for what we think Fast X Part 2 is going to be about.
Yeah, that whole movie is going to be about the Tokyo Drift Boys. Then Fast 11 is the Tokyo Drift Boys hooking up with the main crew to finally take down Dante Reyes. Obviously. That's, of course, what happens. Kyronian Night shout out.
Potentially. Who knows? We'll leave that for the predictions later. But first off, fucking sick-ass movie, am I right?
I enjoyed this movie more than I thought I was going to.
Yeah, you did.
I enjoyed this movie far more than 9. That's definitely true. Like,
and when you saw the dam at the end of the movie, were you already thinking they're gonna drive off that fucker?
Yeah, because you said it like 6 times during this season.
Well, it's in the trailer.
So yeah,
it's in the trailer.
You ever see a car drive down?
It's literally in the trailer.
Just
it's
wait.
literally in the trailer.
Just wait.
But you see that. I still got excited. I saw that dam. I was like, they're going to drive off that motherfucker. It's going to be fucking awesome. Man. Alan Rickman is in this movie.
I had 3 thoughts as I was watching this movie. One, Alan
Richardson,
something like that. The guy who plays Reacher.
Yeah.
I had 3
he was
thoughts.
there too. Don't worry about it. He was also there.
He was also in Fast 5. Just you didn't see him either. Don't worry.
You didn't see him.
First thought was, they're gonna end this series, right? Because these guys are starting to look old. Like, there's not enough makeup in the world that's gonna make these guys like look not in their 50s. So
rude.
Let's end it on a high note, folks. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to see geriatric Vin Diesel still trying to be.
Okay, wow. Yeah. This man is a hater. Vin Diesel could kick your ass right now, and you
100%.
fucking know it. If he walked into your room, he could fucking kick your ass.
Yeah, of course. Where is Kurt Russell?
He's missing. Obviously, he's doing.
Is he missing because Kurt Russell wasn't available? Or is that like an actual thing? Like, nah, he's going to show up in the next movie.
Maybe he'll show up in the next one. I think these are planned out more than you think, man.
So I think
if they're not, they might like leave holes that they can fill in later.
Like Mr. Nobody apparently has a daughter for some reason. I think Brie Larson probably was just like, yo, can I get in the Fast and Furious movie? And Vin's like, yeah. No problem.
You know who really asked, can I get in the Fast and Furious movie?
Helen Mirren, of course.
Debbie Ryan and her husband from 21 Pilots or whatever. They're the people that John Cena and Little B run into at the airport.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, she's just an actress.
Can we talk about Jacob? Can we talk about Jacob
hold
for a second?
Hold on. I got to go through all the cameos because the grandmother is a famous actress.
She is.
Abuelita is a famous actress. The person who does the start in Brazil is a famous Brazilian singer. And the most important one, in my opinion, the flight attendant on the plane, that's Paul Walker's daughter.
I did not know that.
I'm telling you right now.
Okay,
It's pretty
thank you.
cool, though,
Thank you.
right?
That is
Pretty cool.
She
Pretty
should
cool.
do a car scene.
That would be cool if they added her to the team.
Fast X2.
He's like, it's nice to have friends in high places. And then we find out why her and Jacob were friends, which leads me to, what are your thoughts on Jacob? What were you saying?
I think Jacob Toretto was a criminally underused character in these two movies.
It's pretty funny, right?
He basically is a bland, evil person in the last movie that didn't kill his dad. Okay. Like, you knew it was like a whole misunderstanding, but Dom being Dom couldn't accept it until the end. And then apparently all is forgiven after he gives him a 10-second car, and now they're best buds, and his son knows him.
Not
his
best
Uncle
buds,
Jacob,
but they're still friends.
You had John Cena for a movie and a half. Was that all his contract was? Like, I'll give you a movie and a half. And then you just got to go up. Like, I just felt like his character death wasn't earned. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I don't know if he's dead. I mean, they did blow him up pretty good.
That one's gotta be dead, right?
I guess.
At least the plane one at the end was like around the mountain, so you couldn't see them getting out. But you saw that just explode and be on fire.
I think they just got a lot of heavy hitters. And they're like, and John Cena's probably like, all right, I'm going to go be the lead of my TV show or something.
He's probably like, wait, you got The Rock back? All right.
But Alan Richardson, Jason Momoa, like, the budget on this, the majority was probably salaries. Salaries and then vehicles that they blew up. Rome was destroyed almost. And I'm so glad I got to visit the Spanish Steps before they were destroyed. Because that reconstruction is going to take a while.
It's going to take a while. First of all, it was great to see Han and Roman interact again. Let's face it. Come on. Everybody was waiting.
Dating profile.
Everybody was waiting for it. Han and Roman, the best duo of the franchise. So
Roman with all his cash.
That's pretty
and being like, let me get a receipt for that. How am I going to get a receipt from a vending machine? I don't know. Deckard Shaw and Han coming face to face?
I guess I got to take that. Like, that's all I'm going to get. I'm not going to get Deckard Shaw going into the past and saving Han. I'm just going to get him shooting some guy behind him and going, we're even. Motherfucker, you tried to actually kill him. I don't know if you're even.
Yeah, but then he saved his life. And he's like, there's only one reason why a dead man would come visit me.
And then he immediately starts attacking him.
Yeah, because it's obviously to kill him. He doesn't trust that Han doesn't want to kill him. And then Han's like, I'm just trying to eat my chips, man. I'm just trying to eat my chips.
I'm just trying to eat my... Dude, in Fast X2, when Han sees Giselle,
it's going to be crazy. I mean, hopefully Han's alive.
What do you think he's going to say? Is he going to be upset?
Both alive the whole time. He's like,
is he going to be upset? Or is he going to be like, yeah, you're right. I mean, I faked my death too. Or did they communicate while they were both fake dead?
Ooh.
Oh, who knows?
Maybe they were talking the whole time.
Maybe.
Because it seems like she was working for Mr. Nobody. I don't know, but why is she friends with Cypher? I'm confused.
I think she was probably working with Mr. Nobody's daughter.
Little Miss Nobody is friends with Cypher, I guess?
Maybe. I don't know. Enemy, my enemy. It's my friend.
Enemy.
Well, let's speak about the enemy. I thought Jason Momoa tore this up. I thought he was actually...
He would be a really good Joker.
I think he was really engaging. And from
he was like basically like the Joker. He was just trying to menace the world.
I think he just looked at all the rest of the Fast and Furious villains of like big, tough guys, serious, blah, blah. He's like, that's stupid. I'm going to be just this happy-go-lucky menace to society who actually just murders people easily. Like, very much.
No heart. Yeah, he's kind of wild.
I honestly...
walking to those dead bodies and he's painting their nails and he has their eyes taped open. I'm like, this is fucked up, but it's pretty good
funny.
On his
pretty
part.
funny.
Yeah. And then when he's like little B, he's like, we got it, don't worry.
I will admit I laughed probably inappropriately when Jacob Toretto died in a fiery flame, and Jason Momoa turns to Little B and he's just like, "Man, that was really cool." Tragic. I mean, tragic.
Yeah. I don't think he's coming to the barbecues.
Yeah, that's his
Whoa.
last barbecue. Ooh, I mean, it's horrible.
Brutal. Also, I love how the movie starts with Little B drifting in Dodgers parking lot.
Just call back.
Sweet.
Call back to Paul Walker.
And then Dad's like, we're going to finish the lesson, the driving lesson. And I guess part 2 of the driving lesson is how to jump out of moving cars.
See your line and commit to the line.
He's like, son, our family uses cars where physics don't understand.
When you get into a car...
There. Who said anything but landing? I'm going to drop onto some cars, drive away.
That was the most unrealistic thing about this movie. You drive backwards out of a plane, your car is going to flip like this, not flip like this and then come back down. That was bullshit.
Yeah, I don't know if physics really played a part in these movies.
No, it doesn't. I know.
Because you just shut off, and I'm like, oh my God, this is great.
So
You're going
cool.
back to all the old haunts. They're in Rio. They're in London. They're in L.A. Like,
what's cooler than using a safe as a wrecking ball?
Rome.
2 helicopters on fire.
But also, we get the safe scene. We get Paul Walker in this movie. I know it's in a flashback, but we still get him, you know?
It's just good to see Brian back out there, you know?
And look at Little B being the new Brian, just on top of the car. And just like, and then Jacob's okay with it. He's like, all right, be careful. But I guess, like, this is what you've been trading for? I don't know.
Selfishly, I hope in Fast X 2, I hope there's like one quick scene with Paul Walker's brother playing Paul Walker of him coming, playing Brian to come and like save the day. Super quick.
That would be fun.
Like coming out of nowhere with the Honda car or the Skyline, just coming out of nowhere. You see a quick thing of him. He like saves Dom real quick and helps him like outrun something. You know what I mean? Because you don't have to do a lot of scenes with him, but if you do like one car chase scene, one quick
I would
shot,
like that.
And he's
kind of like how he comes back in the was that in 5 when he comes back?
Yeah.
Or
at the end of 5, after Dom takes the whole wrecking thing, he thinks he's gonna die, and Brian's just there at the end. Like just one quick scene in Fast X 2. You know what I mean?
But also in 4 too, right? Like
no, 4, Brian is the one who's on the ground. And Dom comes because he's about to die, and then Dom comes out of the tunnel, and the guy's gonna jump out of the way, and Brian holds his leg. Smash, and Dom smashes it.
Oh yeah.
One of the first times we see a vehicle used as a weapon in the Fast and the Furious.
It wouldn't be the last time.
Would not be the last.
I love how Dom's car also just has like
superpowers.
But like the harpoons that go out and form a cable wire, like, oh, don't worry, I got this planned. I don't know what's going on with these cars, who's making them up, but they're spending a ton of money on parts.
So much money.
Before we get to where this falls on the lore list, I do have a question of what your prediction of what you think is going to happen other than Brian's return for
That's just a hope. I mean, if I was writing it, I would do that. I would be like, if this is going to be the last movie, we can do one more shot of Brian to give the fans what they want, see Brian helping out the family again. But other than that, obviously, all of them are alive, except for Jacob.
Mm-hmm.
And how are Little B and Dom going to get out of it? Is it as simple as that submarine just pulls up to that one spot, and you don't realize how long ago the submarine broke through in Antarctica, and they were already there? Maybe.
Oh, maybe.
Maybe. They get pulled underwater, and there's just a submarine. They get pulled in. Who knows?
It was kind of crazy how deep that got right after.
Yeah.
It looked like it was pretty shallow, and then it was like a huge lake.
Mm-hmm. Are we getting a Hobbs and Shaw 2 before the next
ride...
movie, or no?
What?
Are we getting a Hobbs and Shaw 2 before the next movie, or no?
I don't know.
Okay.
But I think they're going to ride a piece of the car, like the door of the car, on top of the water from the dam. And they're going to be like floating on the water. And then they're going to survive that way.
Okay.
I don't think the people in the plane are dead.
No.
I would love Brian to come back a little bit.
Just one scene.
That'd be fun. And I still want Bow Wow back in here. I still want him. I want the whole team. I want everyone assembled for the end. Like fucking Endgame, where they're just like, let's do it once and for all. I want Mr. Nobody to come back and be like, I was working on, some deep project. I had to figure it out. So.
Mr. Nobody comes back with all of the Rock's brothers and family from Somalia or Samoa. Right at the end when it's like Army v. Army, man. And they think they're super outnumbered. And then Mr. Nobody's like, you guys miss me? Well, had to go pick up some friends. Boom! We got all of them coming in.
Yeah,
I don't
care about money.
I want Elena's sister in this next movie. Nice. She says it right at the end. She's like, go save my nephew. I'm like, come on. Where you betting, lady? You got a kid. You got a nephew over here. You got to be a good aunt. You got to be around more. Right?
She lives in Brazil.
She's in the next movie, and she becomes part of the family. I think we're going to get a young Fast and Furious franchise spinoff, so we're just waiting for that. We're going to have a young Brian, probably an aunt figure.
I don't know if you could do young Brian, because that would kind of ruin the canon, No.
I mean, the Little B.
Oh, you think it's going to be that generation?
It's going to be next movie, Avengers, and then like 5 years later, now we're doing Little B and everybody,
Oh, I thought you were doing like the gang, like a prequel.
Nah, you can't do young. You can't do young Brian.
There's one question everyone's asking, Zach, and what's that?
How's Roman survive? Where does it fall on the lore list?
The lore list is the list of all the movies we have watched and reviewed. And right now we got a good number. We got like 64, 65 on this list. So the question is, where does Fast X fit in the lore list?
Well, as we always...
5, top of our list at 12.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The Fate of the Furious at 17. The original at 20. 21, Furious 7. Then goes a little bit lower, to the Fast and the Furious 6 at 28.
Still decent. Good movie.
Decent. Fast 9, the Fast Saga at 35. 39 is where Too Fast and Too Furious lives. 45 is Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift. The Fast and the Furious presents Hobbs and Shaw at 46. And rounding out our list is the worst Fast and Furious still, Fast and Furious at 54. So,
now, next
what are
week,
we thinking?
Next week, I'll just have to put this out here. Next week, when we have our Fast Reckoning, Hobbs and Shaw might move up a little bit. Now that Han's alive, it might move up. All right, just I'm gonna put that out there. So we definitely have to fast bracket this. Not the best, it's not the worst, of course. Fast 5 is the best. The Fast and the Furious or Fast and Furious, the fourth one, is the worst. Everybody knows that. I would say this is upper quadrant fast bracket.
It's fun. I like it. I enjoyed it. I watched it twice in like 2 months, and I still loved it.
I don't know if it's better than Fate of the Furious. I think Fate of the Furious is an underrated movie. Like, it's an underrated Fast and Furious movie. It's pretty good. I think
it's better than the Fast and the Furious 6.
I agree.
I do think that.
I do have a qualm, though, because you told me last week that when Dom wears white, he's a hero. And when he wears black, he's a villain. Dom wore black this whole movie, Devin.
He had to do some bad things to be the hero.
Is Dante Reyes the hero of this movie?
Who knows? He is just trying to get revenge for his family. I don't know. Maybe I mean that was just that one scene. Who knows? I could be wrong about the whole black and white. I don't know. But it was a different director. Justin Lin left after creative differences, and maybe that was the creative difference. He's like, he needs to be in a white tank top. He can't be in black. That's bad, Tom.
That's bad, Dom. All right, okay. I think it's better than Fast and Furious 6. Now, it's really down to the original Fast and Furious and Furious 7. I don't think it's as strong as either of those movies.
Yeah, I could live with that. I mean, I think Furious 7 is a great movie. And even though they pay homage to it by playing a little bit of a "It's been a long,"
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it is as great as Furious 7. So, above Fast 6, below Furious 7, that leaves us between 21 and 28. And
I can't put this
interesting movies.
I can't put it above Always Be My Maybe.
Okay, can you put it above Planes, Trains, and Automobiles? Yes. I can.
Yeah, I can. Easily.
I can put it over The Conjuring as well.
Me too. Of course.
And I can put it over the other guys.
Put it right there. 23.
All right. The new number 23 on the lore list, Fast X.
All right, David. We got some major decisions and consequences to resolve.
A cliffhanger to end on.
Maybe. We'll see. In this possibly stunning, possibly cliffhanger conclusion to the Cosmic Void franchise in
Building the Lore in the Writer's Zoo.
I don't think we can leave on a cliffhanger. We did that last movie without realizing it. Like, I would have done it, but then I was like, oh, wait, we did that with them thinking Ronan's dead and he's not dead. We can't do this another one, So
the audience doesn't know it wasn't a cliffhanger.
The audience doesn't know. You're right.
Let's get into it. In Cosmic 8, War of the Galaxies are at war.
It's self-explanatory. It's right in the title.
The crew of Big Blimpin' 2, Blimpin' Time.
It's Blimpin' Time. Yeah.
And the Chironian Knights.
Or Blimp Control. Blimp Control.
Trying to prevent as much bloodshed as possible, while undercovering a plot that puts Nick and the Globico board members at the center of this attack.
Mm-hmm.
During a peace treaty between the Chironians and the Globiconians.
Yep.
Globico. Nick, on Icy's planet, Nick sends a warhead to destroy it, where Roman sacrifices himself, punching out a windshield and hurtling it into space, where he blows up, only to become Super Saiyan and discovered floating in deep space by Thaddeus, who was
I don't know if we agreed on the Thaddeus part, but yes, that's fine.
We did on the episode because I just edited it.
I was listening to that, and at the end where we just clearly we had brain mush because you're just like, I just want to do something that gets weird. I'm like, all right, what if he absorbs the nuke? You're like, do it. And then at the end, it's just like, how does it work? Don't worry about it. We did that like 4 times. Don't worry about it.
How do you take down 2 helicopters with a car? How is one tire on a rear view drive car keeping this person? It's like he's grabbing. It doesn't have to make sense as long as it's fun.
Just don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. All right,
that's my answer to your question. What? Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. So we know that Ronan absorbed a nuclear blast, has some sort of, devotonium blast. I apologize. Has some sort of now devotonium energy within inside of him. He got blasted away, floating away into deep space because there is no friction in space. Of course, he's just going to keep going. That's real science. But he gets stopped by Thaddeus. Okay? Mm-hmm. Our other players are on Icy's planet, and we still have Nick up in a ship above the planet. So that's our scenario now in Cosmic 9. Okay? That's where we're starting with. All right. Which storyline do we want to start with?
I think we got to open up on Ronan, no? Or do we open up in like kind of like a battle? Like now people are battling Nick's ship.
I think it's a
and then
battle.
He's
I think it's a
firing them,
battle.
and then you cut to the silence of space, and you see Ronan.
Because in my mind, I'm thinking that the whole Thaddeus scene was an after credit scene, kind of like the Rock scene in this movie. You see Ronan blown away. You see him like open his eyes, cuts to the credits, and then in the credit scene is like him floating in space, and then you see a ship grab him, and then you just see Thaddeus piloting the ship. Like that's the after credit scene.
I imagine him kind of like Green Lantern, where he was just kind of floating through space with like a glowing stuff around him, and it's like they've gone into godlike mode where they don't need to use ships, and they've unlocked that final thing within their experimentation that is now giving them this thing. Because you had this whole idea that they restart the sun or something.
Yeah, well, we don't know yet. We don't know that yet.
I know. I'm bringing it up right now. That Nick's last thing is like his last call is he's gonna blow up the sun or something.
So I was thinking about this for most of the week, and we have to have stakes to this. If he has like superhuman powers, there has to be a drawback to it now. So I'm assuming my thought process was Thaddeus gets blown away, absorbs a little bit of it. He gets pushed off into space. And I'm thinking he ends up in another more advanced galaxy. Okay. Nobody we've ever seen before. All right. But they basically help him. They're a very peaceful galaxy, super advanced science. And they tell him, like, you have absorbed this amount of energy. It will take you a certain amount of time to dissipate it, because if you keep it within you, you are going to die.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the reason why Thaddeus didn't come back. Okay. Same scenario in my mind is that they're going to tell Ronan this, but Ronan's just going to tell him basically, fuck off. I got to go back. Galaxy's dead. So the whole movie is like a ticking clock that the audience.
I'm fine with that. Die. I just don't know if we need to introduce an entire new species and galaxy to explain that. I think Thaddeus could just be like almost Buddha enlightened, where he has realized that this is a ticking time bomb, and in order to save everybody, he hasn't returned, and he's like trying to expel the radiant into like the outer space, because if he goes home and he could expel it around, it could injure or hurt people, you know. So he's in a self-like so it's almost like the same story you have of the tipping, but like we don't have to introduce like this whole another thing, because I'm like, we're already in 9. This is the 11th movie. I don't know, in the final act of this entire thing, we can introduce a new advanced species or race, because then you're like, where are they in the pinnacle of they can just come in and be like, all right, I'm taking everything out and whatever.
Okay. All right, that's fair. That is fair. We would have had to have plant things all along, and maybe there was like an ancient race or something in the galaxy that left for an unknown reason. That's fine. Whatever. Okay. So
we can explore it in later movies if we have to, but I'm just trying to keep it a little neat with just the characters we already have.
So you're thinking Thaddeus takes a devotonium nuke out. It explodes. He's within a ship. He only absorbs a little bit of it, but he's, again, same thing. He gets pushed out into fringe space. He doesn't come back because he figures out that he's a ticking time bomb.
Instead of, you know how Ronan's like unlocked his like true potential and power.
Yeah, Thaddeus
could unlock his true intelligence and wisdom, and he's like knows, because I got like this idea of like these floating, almost Super Saiyan gods, who are having this conversation about gods, and it's like, do we stay away to protect the people, or do we fight knowing that we can just possibly destroy them all.
Fuck it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
So all right, fine. The explosion for Thaddeus unlocked his hidden, all-seeing potential. Whatever.
Yeah.
Wisdom. Whatever it is. He gets
We
blown
had to
away.
get weird, man. We gotta get weird with it.
So it's not even Thaddeus anymore, to the point where he only feels like a remnant of Thaddeus. He has ascended to a different plane of existence.
Yeah,
so
he's
that's
basically like the Buddha.
one of the reasons why Thaddeus never came back and why Thaddeus's death is actual. So we have a person who resembles Thaddeus, but is more of a newer character now than he was before.
It'll kind of be like blue, what's his face or white, what's his face from
Gandalf. Gray Gandalf,
Scarlet,
white Gandalf.
Scarlet and Scarlet Witch. Who's the guy that she was in love with? Ultron. White Ultron.
White Ultron. Okay. Yeah, the ship of Theseus or something like that.
Yeah.
Whatever they have. Okay. All right. So that's that plot line. We'll come back to that. That's a lot of conversation. And through a series of conversations,
I mean, it will be just a conversation in Act 1, and then Ronan will decide to return in Act 2, and then in Act 3 he will unleash his whole power, sacrificing himself, potentially.
Maybe. Or...
And then Thaddeus will feel guilty, and he'll return in Act 3.
And reignite Ronan's heart. And then Thaddeus will fly away. Boom, there it is. Ronan brings humanity back to Thaddeus. Just for
all right, so we got that storyline.
That's all mapped out. Okay.
So now Nick has to be fighting in I gotta destroy these people. The only way to keep my war running is to destroy the Chironian Knights and the big blimpers.
Big blimpers. Okay, so we're saying that Nick had one big payload, and that was taken out by Ronan.
I mean, I feel like...
So now we have conventional weapons against conventional weapons. We got all of Nick's resources fighting against the Chironians and Icy's planet, and I think there's got to be a bloodbath. People that we know die. Maybe not the Knights, maybe not Big Blimp, but probably Ted. Skinny Ted, he's gone. Mackenzie, Joyride, safe. Everybody loves them. They had their own spin-off movie.
You know what I was thinking to come back? Spud. And like somehow he did come back, and he's like this rock character. Maybe he's like little, like a pebble. And he's like, I don't know, doing something. It's like, we just bring back Spud out of nowhere, you know?
Out of fucking nowhere, man. He's just back. Spud's back. I love it. He's back. Spud's back.
And he's just like a little pebble, and he sits on like Mackenzie's shoulder.
That's an act 2.
Yeah.
Act 2, Spud comes back.
It's like they walk in the door and you see the shadow come in, and then it just gets really small, and it's Spud.
Yep, it's just Spud. Mackenzie's like, Spud? That's also how we do the same thing. It's Spud, but not Spud. A regenerated Spud, not the same Spud. Same with Thaddeus. Just so many themes here. So many themes.
Oh yeah, we're like, hey, listen, this is gonna come up later.
Mm-hmm. So, first act is basically that that little battle that they have, and I think they win.
What if they give Spud a mech-like body, and then he's like his tiny little pebble, but controlling like huge Hulk-like suit?
Sure. Or
pretty cool.
What if Spud rides Essie, the space cat, into battle?
And he's like a hairball, and she throws him up.
Yeah. There's got to be like a couple. We got to have a couple of scenes where you see all the Chironian Knights, you see all the big blip, and like get a good like punch or whatever, and like they're fighting, they're doing good. I think we see Ladyface and the other queen. They might have to die this movie. They might have to go.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? The whole mayor from the first planet of the first movie might have to go. Now we gotta kill. Around? We gotta kill some people.
Nick's trying to. I mean, there has to be rebellions too of like the people on the Globico planets. They gotta have protests on the Chironian Empire planets of being like, stop this war type thing. We gotta
Yeah.
We got to really make it a conflict of interest for everyone. We want to make this feel global or universal or
Galactal.
galactic. Can't just be these guys against these guys. We need to have a scene where it is literally 10,000 CGI ships fighting each other.
Of course. That's in the
for
final.
like 20 minutes.
That's a
And
final.
we'll like
That's
see
Act
like
3.
pilots that we like will get to know throughout that time. And they'll be like, Sector Red coming in. And it's like, don't be late, Sunshine. And Sunshine's like, if I get 2 Chironians to every one of yours, like we'll build a rapport with these guys. And then they'll slowly all die.
Yeah, of course. We're going to introduce 50 new pilots. All of them will die. But no, I think first parts there's a battle. Nick loses. It's not like super bad, but still loses. Like some people die, icy, but they defend the planet as much. He goes back. I think Nick answers to the board, and then the board's like, "This has gone too far." Blah 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 blah. Nick kills.
He already killed some of them like the last time, so this time he just destroys all of them.
Kills the rest of them.
Gotcha.
Now we've focused. The whole conflict is Nick and the insidious little CIA type company, the government, a cabal thing that he's running versus the Chironian Empire. So it's not the Globico people. It's this little subsection of corrupt officials, blah, blah,
he's
blah.
He's running the whole army.
But Nick's running it. Yeah.
And they could have droids. We could use droids. So it's like
I'm
every
thinking
planet in the Globico system could have like protector droids just from asteroids or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he could absorb all those, and then
activates
you see droids from every planet coming in, and then you have like,
yeah, I think he activates them to do martial law on the planet. Some of them come up to help with the war effort, and then I think we gotta have whatever Nick's secret project is, and it's just the fully enhanced versions of these soldiers he's been working on for like 20 plus 5 years, whatever it is. And then you think these guys are the most badass guys, every enhancement they could ever have. And that's when Ronan's coming back to take those guys out.
Well, I think Nick also has those too, and Nick's the final battle.
Yeah,
and
Nick's going to be the
Ronan
final battle.
Gotta be fighting it out.
Does Nick get Devotonium powers too? Okay.
I think that's what because maybe Ronan returns and then he's like sees like that he can't fight him or whatever, and then he goes crazy and he's like, thanks for telling me what my research missed, the secret to all of it. And then Act 3, he goes Super Saiyan. Then you got Super Saiyan for Super Saiyan.
And then 20-minute battle of 20,000 ships fighting, and then you got these 2 little pockets of light flying against each other.
The Chironians are like the Chironian pilots are the ones because then we'll have like the droid pilots for Nick's team. We'll have a few guys who are rough, but like mostly droids, because that's why when these pilots are joking and having fun about killing droids, and then they get killed,
yeah, that's better. Also,
so
I do
want little retcon, slight little retcon.
I want the droids to also say some really mean stuff that's like unfounded and hurtful and like bigoted a little bit. Droids. Yeah, racist droids against the Chironians, because we got to be cool with them getting killed too. Yeah.
Well, they're droids. That's why I was like,
yeah.
And they're like just ships on autopilot is what I imagine. But they're just over the loudspeaker being like, "You green bastards."
So
rude.
I think the final battle, Rory's got to take over. She's got to be like the commander, the admiral, directing all the forces. You know what I mean? Like, finally I think this is finally her. Like, I'm the leader of like the army force, and then Ronan's just that guy. Like, you're out there.
He's coming in. He's blasting through a whole carrier ship of drones.
Yeah, it's like Rory's like Captain America. And then, Ronan's like Thor or Captain Marvel coming in, like they're the nuke that Captain America's like, go do that. You're like, you're right. Boom. Let's go. And then we got to see all the Chironian Knights, all the big blimpers. Xander's got to get some revenge in this. So maybe like
Xander might die for real this time.
I don't know. No, Xander's gonna be at the barbecue.
What if he like saves Rory from like an assassin or something, and it's like,
and maybe he's out of commission, but he doesn't die. Doesn't die. We can't kill
really
Xander.
Wounded.
We're really wounded, and we're afraid. But at the end scene with the barbecue, he's there.
Okay.
All right. We've already killed Xander.
He has to redeem himself to his sister.
Of course.
Like a sacrificial type thing.
I think the way for him to redeem himself to his sister is that he does something that she told him to do earlier. So maybe it was like a dogfight thing or like staying somewhere. Like he takes her direction and saves her because of it. And she's like, why'd you do that? He's like, you told me to hold the line or hold this quadrant or whatever like this. And she's like, you finally listened to me? Because remember, he died because he didn't listen to her. The first time.
Yeah. I like that. Full circle.
Full circle moment.
Fucking circle.
Now we do have to. Is Roby gonna die? Wormhole. We have to decide the fate of everyone. Venus and Breacher, I think, are easy kills. Gone. Because we gotta show stakes.
Whoa.
Listen, they're B-list. They're B-list.
Doesn't mean they both need to die. I think if one of them dies, it's an emotional thing, like kind of like a Fred and George Weasley type thing. Whereas, like, their partner dies, and now they have to, like... Because we could do a spin-off of how does Breacher go on without Venus, or how does Venus go on without Breacher?
All right, fine. Venus dies. Breacher joins Joyride and Mackenzie and Roby.
No, I'm just talking more spin-offs, not, like, narrowing the network. I'm talking about expanding it.
Yeah, but
now Breacher's going to become a Ronin type of his own, and he's going to go across, like... The Breacher Chronicles. Come on, you gotta think of spin-offs here.
Breacher's too dumb to have spin-offs.
Then
if we're gonna do that, we gotta
have Venus live. Okay, now we solved that problem. Venus dies. Or Venus lives because Breacher, unlike what Jeremy Renner couldn't do, jumps and saves his partner. Right. Yeah.
Breacher dies for Venus, and his ending scene is telling Venus basically she had to be the one that lived for whatever reason.
Xander gets crushed again,
but he's
kind of like, and it's kind of funny, and he's just like even smaller now.
And Essie picks him up,
yeah,
or Roby picks him up and puts him like in a little thing.
Mm-hmm.
Does Roby die? That's the one I'm really attached to. Anybody else can die.
I think he's cursed to watch everyone die.
I agree
because he's a robot, and at the end we find out that the narrator and is Roby. He's the one who's chronicled this whole journey, even though he wasn't in the beginning. But like, he figured it out.
Wormhole can die. He can go. Seahorse face. He can go.
Mackenzie.
No, not Mackenzie.
I mean, not Mackenzie.
Mackenzie's Flower Girl.
Max.
It's Max. Yeah, Mac. Mac can go.
Mac. I think he dies in a gunfight, like flying. You know?
Yeah.
And that shows you how good these drones are. It's like they targeted him. Like maybe he was taking out a bunch of drones, and then they swarmed him, and that's how he died.
Octavian told him to get out of there, but he's like, I can't because this cruiser is getting over here. Blah. We need the cruiser to get the. Bam. He's dead. Octavian lives.
Because he's
on
the ship.
Lives.
He's on the ship trying to.
All right, we got to kill at least one from Big Blippin', right? We killed Breacher. That's fine. I mean, we can't kill any of the rest of these people. We can't kill Roby. We could kill Wormhole.
We already said we were in a wormhole accident.
Yeah,
Who else do we have? Go down the list real quick. All
right, we got Ronan, we got Rory, we got Xander, we got Thaddeus, who is already a Buddha-like creature. Joyride, Roby, Wormhole, Venus, Breacher, Keon, the Emperor of the Chironian Knights. And then our support characters, we got Icy, we got the Queen from Queenie's Planet, we got the Governor from the First Planet, we got the Tribal Leaders, we got Ladyface, Queenie's right hand. She can die.
Ladyface dies in protecting the Queen, like her duty.
We still got Red. We forgot all about Red. Red was a double agent. Kind of missed that thread. We could bring him back.
And
bring
kill
him back
him off.
And kill him off. But he does one last good deed to get to Nick. But then he dies.
He uses the double agent to get back in and then you think that he tricked Nick, but Nick is like, "You didn't trick me, kid," and then Nick kills him.
Nick kills him, but as he's dying, he's like, "Actually, I did," and like he hits a button, and boom, there's Ronan.
Love it.
Then we got Spark, Octavian, Mac. We killed Skinny Ned. Spud's back. Hilarity ensues, and Mackenzie, Flower Girl. So yeah, we're good. We've killed enough people.
I think we're decent because we got to lead to some more Joyride and Mackenzie spinoffs.
Of course,
we got the Venus Chronicles.
We got the Venus,
the Cosmic Void story.
Who's gonna get the cat? The cat's gonna be Ronan and Rory at the end, or?
I didn't really think about the cat.
We got to think about the cat. Everybody loves the cat. Space Cat, Essie, she's great.
Could go with Rory and Mackenzie on the ship. Add to that exploration.
You enjoy riding Mackenzie.
Yeah.
Maybe she goes with Venus. Venus has got to have a companion.
All right,
we'll give Venus the Space Cat. All right.
So that's how we end everything.
So wait, are we doing the whole
cliffhanger?
Are we doing the whole Nick knows he's gonna lose, so he like kills the sun, and then Ronan reignites the sun, and we think he's gonna die.
His powers.
And then Thaddeus comes in and restarts him, so now Ronan is not super powered anymore, but he is just regular.
Yeah,
Ronan
that's the end of our movie. Yeah,
got it. Love it. Okay, just making sure we're going with that.
Sure.
But Nick dies.
Making sure.
Nick dies.
Yeah,
okay.
Nick dies.
All right. When does Ronan come back? Which act? 2?
2.
3? End of 2.
No, beginning of 2.
Okay.
End of 1, he makes a decision to come back after having this whole thing with Thaddeus. He comes back in 2, defeats Nick the first time. Then Nick comes back, unlocking, because he gave him the answer. He thought he defeated him, but in reality, he gave him the clue to unlock his potential. Then they have the all is lost moment in 2, and then they have their big battle in 3, Act 3. So.
Okay, now we need a title.
Well, it's Cosmic 9 something. It could just be Cosmic 9. But Cosmic War, Cosmic Dark, Void of the Cosmics.
Cosmic 9, Out of the Void. Because Ronan comes out of the void.
Yeah, but I'm trying to just neatly end it.
We did Into the Void. We do Out of the Void.
I know, but Cosmic Void was our original.
All right, Cosmic 9. Full clear eyes, full hearts, can't lose. Cosmic 9. All right. Let's leave Out of the Void on the shelf. Let's not say no yet. We'll take it a couple of minutes. Let's see if we come up with something. 3 minutes later, Cosmic 9 Out of the Void.
That's fine. All right.
No. Hold on. We'll take a minute.
I'm just saying it's, I don't love it. Out of the Void just makes me think out of void. I don't know. It's too much in my mouth. What if we just do Cosmic 9?
No, because we're not doing Fast X. We gotta have a good title. Cosmic 9.
Void 9. The Void.
The Void.
9 Void. There's a move. Is there a void into the
Cosmic 9? The Void.
I think we found it. Cosmic 9. The Void.
The Void.
All right. The Architects of Lore original idea. Cosmic 9. The Void.
It's the aftermath of Ronan taking in the Devotonium nuke. And there's an all-out battle above and on Icy's planet between Nick's forces, the Chironians, and Icy's forces. People die. Skinny Ned, dead. Icy, still alive. We didn't actually decide her fate, so I'm deciding it right now. But a bunch of her soldiers
dies protecting the queen.
But a bunch of her soldiers die
protecting Venus.
Yeah.
Mac goes out in a space fight.
Well, that's later. That's Act 3.
I know, but
Max
I'm just
Hector.
saying, this movie is a full-out war, and
Full-out
people are
war.
going down.
Nick's forces are defeated, not soundly. He retreats. He goes back to the Globico board, and they're like, "You've gone too far." And he says, "I haven't gone far enough." Kills him.
Destroys them all.
Activates
Meanwhile,
all of the robots in the galaxy to rise up and keep the population in line and bring into his war machine.
Thaddeus and Ronan are having a godlike conversation, right? Thaddeus has informed Ronan that he is basically a ticking time bomb, and he could leak out devotonium nuclear energy to the people around him. The blast got his enlightenment unlocked, where it got Ronan's strength unlocked.
His eyes, Thaddeus's eyes now, are like space with just stars in them and blackness.
Ooh, very cool. He warns Ronan not to return, but Ronan doesn't listen and returns.
Of course. Ronan returns to find that Nick has a bunch of new high-powered muscle, the fully unlocked version of the soldiers that he wants. But Ronan soundly defeats them. And Nick realizes that Ronan has finally found the secret he's been looking for all along. The answer
Devotonium energy.
Well, he's
gonna create himself into something that can take on Ronan. So we got a face off. We got Ronan, we got Nick. They're both superpowers. They're going at it. We got a huge space battle. We got people dying. We got a cast of pilots that we fall in love with just with their 20 minutes of fun banter. They're all going down.
All of them.
And as Ronan defeats Nick, Nick knows he's going to lose. So what does he do, Zach?
He takes out the sun of the Globico galaxy, saying, "If I can't have it, no one can." But Ronan.
Boom, blows up, Dad.
But Ronan, being the hero that he is, with Thaddeus' voice in his head saying, "You're just a ticking time bomb," rushes into the sun and releases his devotonium energy to reignite the sun, losing all of his powers and possibly killing him.
He's on the ground falling, but here comes Thaddeus the Wise, who reignites his heart before he disappears into deep space. He does give one of these a nod
to Joyride, of course. And he says something like, he said something creepy like, I'm watching. I'm always watching.
Cosmic 9.
The Void.
Ooh. If you like that idea, let us know. You can email us at architectslore@gmail.com. Please follow us on Twitter at Arc of Lore, everywhere else at Architects of Lore. And we do not have a movie to watch next week, but we do have a couple questions for you. So we want to know, what's your favorite movie in the franchise of Fast and Furious? What's your favorite car chase?
Okay.
Who's your favorite character?
Okay.
And what do you think's going to happen in Fast X Part 2?
I thought you were going to say all of those questions about our Cosmic Void franchise series.
That is part 2 of your homework.
Okay.
All of those about the Cosmic Void franchise. What's your favorite movie? Who's your favorite character? What's your favorite crazy action sequence? And what do you think about Cosmic 9 Part 2? Yes or no?
We're not having a part 2. We're not having a part 2.
Or should we go somewhere off with Spin, Joyride Part 2, The Chronicles of Venus? Let us know.
Let us know in the comments below. And of course, obviously, there's an after credit scene where they're just having a barbecue. And it's everybody who's alive. Ronan's
Make sure you like and subscribe. Please ring that bell as well.
And email us at architectslore@gmail.com. We did it, Devin. No one thought we could. No one thought we could.
It's been a journey.
They were like, you can't do 10 movies in the same series. And I was like,
you're right. We did 11.
We did 11. We could do 11. We might do 12.
Was our last one 9? Yeah. But we did 11, people.
Because we had a 5.5 and we had a presents, of course. So there it is, folks. If you're out there at Universal or YouTube or MGM or wherever, and you're like, man, I really need some new cool IP because all these superhero movies are flopping, the Fast franchise is ending. What's up? Hit up your boys. People love space now. People love space.
Yeah. Universal, Paramount, Sony,
Anybody at all.
Disney.
You can start a bidding war at architectslore@gmail.com. But Devin,
Go ahead.
just remember, if you got a story in your heart, you can't seem to get it out,
do it.
just do it. And you know what? If physics don't work, don't worry about it.
Just don't worry about it.
And if it sucks, who cares? That's what editing's for. Let's get at it.
Want to give an easy one for the audience, you know?
Yeah, we always gotta give easy ones for the audience. The audience doesn't know movies.
Not like us.
Not like us, clearly. Need for Speed Racer.